You don't know stories? You've been rocking stories from rock for pages. Keep rocking.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to stop the surge of vigilante-side justice in this country, none of us will be safe. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia, but property damage, injury, or even death. And we are seeing recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Sanya, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Sanya.
Robbie, why you taking?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh, no, Charles. Tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price Store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever occasion jumping till the break of dawn, Exeter's Best Price Store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIB market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Full Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athlete and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-57. Exeter's Best Price Store on Garland Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
Exactly. When you want some more, I provide it. So start to talk. Commençons encore un petit pop. Put in toto ichiki.
I can't stand no more, cause no more food. I cannot go to school, cause no more money. I can't stand no more, cause no more food. I cannot go to school, cause no more money. Hey yo, excuse me, Mr. Genevieve. I wonder how you make your head.
Let's say a pleasant good morning and welcome to the midweek presentation of the program from the Print News. Today is the 17th of June and the year stands at 2026. It's another beautiful day in the nation's capital, Monrovia, and it's another day that we have come to bring you trending stories from the print media. My name is Wendell Nimne, and I'm here this morning with Esther Daku. Esther, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Wendell. Good morning to all of you out there. It's good to be here this morning, as a matter of fact, for the midweek edition of the program from the Print News. I'm glad to be here, Wendell.
All right, folks, this entire broadcast is dedicated to our own Anthony Stevens. The magical man celebrates his birthday today. And on behalf of the entire management and staff of this noble institution, I want to say happy birthday to you, Anthony Stevens, the boss who doesn't fuss, because when you fuss, you're going to get lost in your dust. So happy birthday to you, AS, wherever you are this morning. We want to wish you all the best. So celebrate your birthday in a grand style. Okay, folks, those of you watching, don't just like the post. Don't just see us and say nothing about the show. You can drop your comment in our comment section as usual. We will have them read for you on this edition of the Print News.
Right.
This is the Wednesday presentation, the midweek. And in our studio this morning, we have the Front Page Africa and the Daily Observer newspapers. So let's begin with the front page Africa newspaper. Top stories first. It says Road to Justice. Senate advances war and economic crimes court putsch unveils roadmap to harmonize competing bills. That's competing bills. And that's the first story here. Let's move on. Supporting the arrest agenda. One side resources unveils US 600 million Dubai gold investment promise. Thousands of jobs for Liberians after meeting with Bwaka. And lastly, this story says, I want to die. Who was saying this? Rocket attack survivors, angering fuels call for justice in Liberia. Those are the top stories. And let's move on. This one, the government announces bribery prop as senior police investigator says evidence was overwhelming in Liberia's largest human trafficking trial. We are looking at it. That is yet to be established. It will be prosecuted as a separate case because it cannot be done in criminal court. A. It does not have the jurisdiction. The jurisdiction lies with the power of criminal court C, which has original jurisdiction with those cases. So, for now, we are focusing on the trafficking in persons case. We're saying there's Somo C. Kotu Akwe, a senior human trafficking prosecutor. Let's take a few lines from that story. It's very interesting. Let's run you through a few lines. Right, let's see. Where is that story? I'm trying to draft to that page. Okay, I'm there. And it says Liberia's government said on Tuesday that it will investigate bribery allegations connected to the country's largest human trafficking trial, which is now in its second week. Somosi Kotu Akwe, a senior human trafficking prosecutor, when asked about the prospect of the prop, told Front Page Africa News narrative that Augustin C. Fayad, Liberia's Solicitor General, ordered the creation of a special investigative panel to establish the authenticity of those statements by the victims, whether it is true or not. It will be prosecuted as a separate case, said Akwe in the interview after Tuesday's proceedings at Criminal Court A at the Temple of Justice, the seat of Liberia's judiciary. The jurisdiction lies with the power of Criminal Court C, which has original jurisdiction with those cases. So for now, we are focusing on the trafficking in persons case. Liberia's largest human trafficking trial is in its following dramatic events last week when 4 of the 12 defendants in the case pleaded guilty to the charges in bids to have the charges reduced. Another 15 alleged traffickers in the case are at large. Prosecutor dropped charges against the first defendant to flip and testify for the defense, but refused to drop charges against the other 3, reflecting prosecution confidence that they no longer needed them to win the case in the trial that has drawn international scrutiny after revelations by Front Page Africa new narratives in March that 9 of the 57 victims alleged the charges had been reduced or dropped against almost all of the defendants because of bribery payments. His disclosure came after Fayad, in an interview last week, said the government was determined to investigate all allegations in the case after the international community raised with some of my actors, most especially the Minister of Labor and other people. Liberia has spent 2 years on a U.S. government watch list for its failures to tackle human trafficking in persons. It may lose if it stays on the list for a third year. Fayad's remark referenced allegations of bribery. Uh, let's continue with the story. It says Taylor to ensure that the consignment. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a different story. It says bribery of government officials revealed in reporting my front page Africa New narratives in March. Victims said bribery nearly derailed the case, reducing charges or removing them in some cases, and paving the way for the defendant's release. 9 victims told investigators that Besman Joa, a public defender, offered a bribe to a prosecutor on behalf of the traffickers in an effort to reduce the charges. 7 victims identified Joa in statements to police, saying Daniel Davis, also known as Wao Zakoso Kate, and one of the accused ringleaders, had openly claimed that Joa was protecting them. Victims accused Joa, now president of the Public Defenders Association of Liberia, of paying bribes to police officers and prosecutors on behalf of the accused traffickers. Police are in our pocket. Victims quoted the defendants as saying, "We own the government." The allegations gained traction after all 4 women who accused the defendants of rape told police in new narratives that their statement had been altered. The accused ignored Dumba, head of the anti-human trafficking desk at the Liberia Police, of charging their statements, of changing their statements to police. The women also alleged that Dumba accepted a bribe from Joa after a prosecutor in the Painesville Magisterial Court, where the case originated, rejected a U.S. 7,000 bribe. According to the victims, the goal was to drop the rape and human trafficking charges and secure the defendant's release on bail. And let's move on to take our final story here from the front page Africa newspaper. And this story has to do with the 19 million cocaine case. How a wanted figure enjoying a safe haven and protection in Sierra Leone is sparking fears and outrage amid murmurs of his alleged involvement in the recent U.S. 19 million drug bust in Liberia, the most dangerous man in West Africa. On the run from authorities in his native Holland, fugitive Jose Lijekos has the protection of President Madabio in Liberia's next door neighbors, Sierra Leone. For many diplomatic observers in the sub-region, the timing and recent onslaught of drugs in Africa's oldest republic is cause for worry, especially in the backdrop of multiple civil wars in the region and the potential for narcotics to reshort old goals in a fragile West Africa sub-region.
Interesting.
Yeah, let's just run a few lines from there. This drug thing, Liberia, not small thing. It says when authorities in Liberia on reveal a U.S. 19 million drug bust at the Rabat International Airport last week, echoes of a familiar refrain re-could hitch across West Africa. a still fragile region that has experienced civil wars and unrest in Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. The 198 compressed plates of cocaine weighing 237.6 kilograms were concealed in cargo boxes. The narcotics were prepared for exportation to Europe via a Brussels Airlines flight operations route. R.G. Coleman, security officials summoned by Dutch, a McGibby County court order airport management to turn over CCTV footage, wheel bills, and shipping documents to map out the trafficking network. The case has triggered significant public debate and political pressure in Liberia regarding security transparency and the identity of the perpetrators. Liberia and Sierra Leone are connected as a primary transit route for drugs floating across land borders, like the Bull Waterside crossing into Liberia. While security agencies in Liberia are yet to name prime suspects behind the bust, many diplomats in the West African sub-region are turning some attention to Liberia's next door neighbor, Sierra Leone, where Jose Lee Jedicos resides and is enjoying the full protection of President Madabio and his government. An investigation by Front Page Africa has found that Legiticos has been in and out of Liberia under the cloak of darkness, engaging with some prominent figures in Liberia over the past year, crossing over from his hideout haven in Freetown and engaging in unscrupulous activities in Liberia relating to narcotics. The movement, one Western diplomat told Front Page Africa this week, has triggered the attention of authorities in Legitico's homeland, the Netherlands, and Belgium, where he also had a number of charges related to narcotics hanging over his head. This Front Page Africa has learned prompted Dutch and Belgium authorities, that's the Belgian authorities, to seek a meeting with the head of the Liberian National Police, Gregory Coleman, and some senior security officials from Liberia who are due in Washington this week as part of a joint operation aimed at exploring the alleged involvement of Legiticos in a series of drug operations in Liberia in recent months. Legiticos is a convicted international drug lord and Europe's most wanted fugitive. He was sentenced in absentia in the Netherlands and Belgium to over 80 years in prison for massive cocaine trafficking, contract killings, and money laundering. He was sentenced to 24 years in prison by a Rotterdam court for trafficking nearly 7,000 kilograms of cocaine, ordering a contract killing and armed robbery, and subsequently handed in additional 8 year sentence in Belgium. The Jericho is also linked by European investigators to massive that's transnational cocaine shipments, including a record maritime bust near the Canary Islands involving over 30,000 kilograms of cocaine. The Netherlands have formally requested his extradition, and the EU has been intervening to pressure Sierra Leone to lend him over, threatening to cut millions of dollars in development aid if the country continues to harbor him. Over the last month, drug trafficking between Liberia and Sierra Leone has been at an all time high. But we'll stop you right here because of time and send controls back to Esther. Esther is going to run us through the Daily Observer
Of course,
newspaper.
that's an interesting story, Wendell. And
Yeah,
I don't know why the name sounds
yeah,
familiar, but we will come to that. Let's bring you the Daily Observer this morning. Before me, I have the hard copy of the online version. And the top story here says no person, institutions, no criminal network will escape justice, says President Buckeye on US 19.2 million cocaine investigation, adding that Liberia is not open for business of drug trafficking. Bishton has a story, and we see the president been photographed right here on the front page of the Daily Observer. He says President Joseph Nima Boakai Sr. has declared an uncompromising war against drug trafficking following the seizure of approximately 237.6 kilograms of cocaine value at more than US 19 million at Rabat International Airport, warning that Liberia would not serve as a safe haven for transnational criminal networks. Addressing the nation on Tuesday, June 16, President Boakai described the interception as one of the largest narcotic seizures in Liberia's history and a clear indication that international drug syndicates continue to view West Africa as a strategic transit corridor for illicit drugs and criminal proceeds. Do I maintain that Liberia is open for business? Liberia is not open for the business of drug trafficking, the president declared. He emphasized that Liberia would not be used as a transit point, storage facility, financial center, or operational base by criminal organizations engaged in the global narcotic trade. The president announced that he has directed the National Joint Security, operating under the authority of the National Security Council, to conduct a comprehensive investigation into the case. According to him, the investigation is being coordinated by the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency and the Liberia National Police with support from the National Security Agency, Executive Protection Service, Financial Intelligence Agency, Liberia Immigration Service, custom authorities, airport security, and the Ministry of Justice and other security institutions. President Walker said the investigation will focus on two critical objectives: identifying and prosecuting all individuals directly linked to the shipment and dismantling the broader criminal enterprise responsible for financing, coordinating, and facilitating the operation. We are not interested only in intercepting drugs or arresting couriers, he said. We are determined to expose and destroy the networks that finance, coordinate, facilitate, and profit from this criminal activity. The Liberian leader stressed that the probe will extend beyond those immediately connected to the seized cocaine and will target anyone found to have played a role in a trafficking operation regardless of status or nationality. Whether they operate within Liberia or beyond our borders, whether they are private citizens, public officials, financiers, facilitators, or foreign actors, they will face the full weight of the law, he warned. In one of the strongest declarations of his administration, anti-drug campaign President Volker pledged that the investigation will be pursued without fear or favor. This investigation will follow the evidence wherever it leads, he said. No person will be untouchable. No institution will be shaded from scrutiny. No criminal network will escape justice. The president also disclosed that Liberia has intensified collaboration with international law enforcement and security partners to support the investigation through intelligence sharing, financial tracking, forensic analysis, and coordinated cross border operations. He revealed that a high level government delegation has already been dispatched to engage key international partners and strengthen efforts to identify, disrupt, and dismantle all individuals and organizations connected to the trafficking network. Expressing confidence in Liberia's security institutions, President Bouakai commended the dedication and professionalism of the country's law enforcement agencies and urged citizens not to underestimate their commitment to protecting the nation. At the time, he called on Liberians to remain calm and allow investigators to carry out their work without interference, while acknowledging the public's demand for information and accountability. The president cautioned that premature disclosure of sensitive detail could jeopardize ongoing operations, alert suspects, compromise evidence, and endanger individuals assisting investigators. He assured the public that the investigation will be conducted with the highest standards of professionalism, transparency, integrity, and accountability, and that relevant information will be shared at appropriate stages consistent with legal and operational requirements. President Bogai further emphasized that the fight against drug trafficking extends beyond law enforcement, describing it as a battle for the future of Liberia's youth, the safety of communities, the credibility of public institutions, and the country's international reputation. My administration remains fully committed to protecting our citizens, securing our borders, preserving the integrity of our institutions, and defending Liberia's reputation in the international community. He said, the fight against drug trafficking is beyond a law enforcement challenge. It is a fight for the future of our young people, the security of our communities, the credibility of our institution, and the prosperity of our nation. Reaffirming his government's resolve, the president vowed that those who seek to profit from the suffering of Liberians or undermine national security will find no refuge within the country borders. We will confront this threat with determination, professionalism, and resolve. President Boga declared together with unity and determination, we will win this fight. The president's address comes amid heightened public interest in the ongoing investigation into the massive cocaine seizure, which authorities say could expose wider international narcotics trafficking network operating within and beyond Liberia. But let's leave you there, and we have more stories this morning to look at. We have US 600 gold investment signals new chapter for mining sector. Mensa Resources International Partners commit to one of Liberia's largest recent mining investment as government eye jobs, revenue, and economic growth. This is right here on the front page of the Daily Observer. We see the photograph of Mensa Resource Limited and Partners CEO Sebastian Motisos and Michael Wagnert, the investment manager. But grab a copy of the Daily Observer and read that story. Let's jump to this one. Hosts divided over a secret session in US 19.2 million cocaine probe, but Justice Minister defends closed door proceedings. Well, the story is right here. Let's see some
Interesting, very
lines.
interesting.
Of course, page 10 is right here. And it says a sharp division emerged within the House of Representatives on Tuesday after lawmakers voted to move into a closed door executive session to receive sensitive briefings on a major US 19 million cocaine seizure investigation triggering a walkout by one lawmaker who rejected the decision as a threat to transparency and accountability. The controversy unfolded after the House of Representatives summoned the Ministry of Justice, the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency, and the management of Rabat International Airport to provide updates on the circumstances surrounding the alleged transitional narcotics case. The session was initially expected to be held in public but was later shifted into executive session. Following a request from the Minister of Justice and Attorney General and Oswald Senior, the Justice Minister urged lawmakers to keep portions of the proceedings confidential, citing intelligence sensitivity, ongoing criminal investigations, and national security concerns linked to the alleged drug trafficking network. According to him, some of the information being reviewed by the lawmakers originated from international intelligence sharing partners and was subject to strict confidentiality agreements. Following the deliberation, the House voted to proceed behind closed doors, effectively barring the public and media from portions of the inquiry. The decision immediately sparked backlash from Rep. Mama Briggs Mensa, chairperson of the House Committee on Gender, Children, and Social Protection, who staged a walkout in protest. Speaking to journalists after exiting the chamber, she questioned why a high profile drug case involving millions of dollars in cocaine should be shaded from public scrutiny. What is the secret about bringing cocaine into the country? What is the secret about revealing the identities of those allegedly involved? What is the secret about exposing the holding accountable, the perpetrators of this criminal enterprise, she asks. The Liberian people deserve answers. They facilitated this shipment, who financed it, who attempted to traffic it, and whether any public officials were uh, complicit in this operation. I am angry and I don't want to be a part of any secret session involving such a major drug bust. Where Briggs Mensa insisted that the scale and seriousness of the case require full transparency, arguing that secrecy could undermine public confidence in government efforts to combat narcotics trafficking. We're going to leave you here and take more stories this morning on the Daily Observer. We see police charge sheet. Police charge it over wax exam bribery scandal. History has a story. What's this about? Let's see some lines. It says the Liberian National Police has formally charged 9 individuals in 2 separate criminal cases involving alleged examination fraud and reckless conduct that authorities say threatened both public integrity and national security operations. In the first case, the LMP has charged 8 individuals in connection with an alleged scheme to compromise the ongoing West African Senior School Certificate examination at the Global Net Preparatory School in the FDA community. The accused include Emily T. Flomo, Elton A. Chile, Eberto B. Sadie, Palimar M. Sumba, Elize Barney, Antonin Wakolo, Deka I. Pay, and Arthur Kankwin Jr. They have been charged with bribery, unlawful rewarding of public servants, and criminal conspiracy in violations of Chapter 10 and 12 of the Liberian Reverse Panel Law. According to police investigators, the defendants allegedly conspired to collect 300 Liberian dollars from each student sitting the WAS mathematics examination at a testing center with the intent of compromising the integrity of the examination process. Investigators said a total of Liberian dollars 58,380 was collected from candidates seated on the first and second floors of the school during the examination period. It says police findings further indicate that several of the accused admitted during investigation that meetings were held in which participants agreed to collect money from candidates in exchange of assistance with examination questions. While some of the defendants have denied involvement, investigators concluded that sufficient evidence exists linking all 8 individuals to the alleged scheme. But this is it. Let's look at more stories this morning. We have the Daily Observer. We run to the back page of this paper. Liberia, DRC strengthen ties, push joint UN resolution on natural resources, climate, and peace. And of course, we see the photograph of our foreign minister, Her Excellency Sarah Besloyanti, and her Congolese counterpart, Her Excellency Teresa Wagner of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Monrovia. Finally, at the back page of the Daily Observer, we have "Don't Weaponize Judiciary for Political Revenge." We brought a story on yesterday with Dale. So far, this is all we have.
Thank you there, Esther Daku. Thank you so much. And let's recap for those of you who are just joining the show. These are the stories we brought you this morning from the hard copies of the Front Page Africa and the Daily Observer. So let's begin to recap the stories for you. It says here from the Front Page Africa, Road to Justice, Senate advances war and economic crimes court putsch, and unveils roadmap to harmonize competing bills. And supporting the arrest agenda, Mansa Resources unveils US 600 million Dubai gold investment, promises thousands of jobs for Liberians after meeting with Bwaka. And another story here says, I want to die. Rocket attack survivors, Angolan fuels calls for justice in Liberia. And it says government announces bribery probe as senior police investigator says evidence was overwhelming in Liberia's largest human trafficking trial. And lastly, for the Front Page Africa newspaper, the most dangerous man in West Africa, how a wanted figure enjoying a safe haven and protection in Sierra Leone is sparking fears and outrage amid murmurs of his alleged involvement in the recent US 90 million drug bust in Liberia. And that does it for the Front Page Africa newspaper. Let's run you to the Daily Observer. No person, institutions, nor criminal network will escape justice, says President Joseph Nyima Bwaka on U.S. 19.2 million cocaine investigation, adding that Liberia is not open for the business of drug trafficking. And another story here says House divided over secret session in U.S. 19.2 million cocaine probe, but Justice Minister defends closed door proceedings. And U.S. 600 million Dewey gold investment signals new chapter for mining sector. And lastly, for the front page of the Daily Observer, police charge it over wires exam bribery scandal. Let's move you to the back page. Liberia and the Democratic Republic of Congo strengthen ties, push joint UN resolution on natural resources, climate, and peace. And we see the photograph of the DRC Minister of Foreign Affairs and Liberia's Foreign Affairs, Sarah Beslo Nyansi. And lastly, don't weaponize judiciary for political revenge. Well, folks, those are all the stories we've got to bring you this morning. We're about to go and take word from our sponsor. When we come back, hey, just watch up. We will join our weather report man, Solomon Tunis, who is going to run us through the weather report. But let's take word from our sponsor first, and then we will be right back with more stories here for you.
We want peace in Liberia, peace in Monrovia.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to stop the surge of vigilante-side justice in this country, none of us will be safe. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we are seeing recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Sanya, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam
Them
signing.
gotta be one peace in Liberia, peace in Monrovia. We want peace in Liberia.
Robbie, why you taking?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh no, Charles, tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever occasion jumping till the break of dawn, Exeter's Best Price store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIB market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Flow Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athlete and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exeter's Best Price store on Garland Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper and retail store.
He said, when you want some more, I provide it. So we start to talk. Come on, some going deep and deeper. Put it to Ichiki.
Oh, yes, folks, thanks to all of you for being there. Let's now cross over to the USA where our man Solomon Tunis is to bring us the weather report. Tunis, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, Wendell. Good morning, Esther. Good morning, Mama Liberia. Yep, weatherman Suleiman Tunis coming to you live from Radio LIV here on Staten Island, New York. Today, weather, as the day already going to 12 o'clock, you might be experiencing light rain today. There must be light rain, and I don't see any sun for the rest of the day. Even if the sun came up this morning, that sun will be going hiding itself pretty soon, and you will be experiencing light rain. The wind is about 40% chance of rain anyway, 6 miles per hour to 6 to 10 miles per hour wind, and humidity is about 78%. So be prepared for the rest of the day. So tomorrow, Thursday, you're going to get a lot of sunshine, lot of sunshine. If rain going to come, but it will come during the afternoon or early evening hour tomorrow. But the days will start with heavy sunshine in your faces, and then don't be fooled by that sun, because definitely as time goes on around lunch hour or right a little after lunch hour, you start experiencing light rain with scatter or thunderstorm, and then it will turn to heavy rain in the evening hour. So if you are leaving work rush hour, hurry up, or you might be fighting with rain and all of that. So Friday, almost like Thursday. The only thing, the difference is there won't be any sunshine morning time. There will be a light rain, heavy thunderstorm, and so on. The rest of the day, as we see it here, it was raining day for you on Friday. So let's go back to Wednesday. As I said, if you are not experiencing light rain right now, then it's coming. Definitely before the day is over, you experience some light rain coming. Thursday, you're going to start with heavy sunshine, very heavy sunshine. Nothing, no cloud. The sun will be right in your faces. It will not be hidden. And as the day progresses, right after some lunch hour, you will start experiencing light rain, and it will turn to heavy rain. And as time goes on, it will turn to heavy rain and thunderstorm. Friday is a day that you really should be worried about, because it's all day rain, all day, not all day rain, but all day cloudy and rain. All day cloud and rain. It will start with the rain first, and then the rain will cease up a little bit, and then it continue later on again, so that you can move on to do a lot of other things. In the nighttime, it will definitely rain. But daytime, morning hours, that definitely rain. For those of you going to the mosque, you must be prepared, dress Don't dress accordingly because the rain will disturb you. Dress decent, that's all. Because you're in the rainy season anyway, but sometimes you get break. Like Thursday, you're gonna get break in the morning, but in the evening, hour is the one you worry about. That's the 3 day weather report from Freedom FM with Radio LIB here. Your weather report man, Suleiman Hashim Tunis. Thank you. Let me send control back to my Cody, back to Freedom FM.
Thank you there, Tunis, and thanks for the weather report, folks. That's it. The rest of the 3 days, that's how the weather is going to be like. So let's
I want
keep
to
ourselves abreast.
I just want
Mhm.
to say happy birthday to our brother Anthony Stevens. Today his birthday. I saw that on Facebook before coming up. So I just say happy birthday to you, Anthony Stevens, if you're listening to it. Whether you're listening or not, happy birthday to you. Back to you, brother.
Yeah.
Okay,
For
so
sure, it's definitely.
that's it. We just heard it, the weather report, and that's how it's going to be like today, tomorrow, and the day after. But too many things to talk about. We read a lot of stories,
Yeah.
and we also listened to the president on yesterday. But for me, I see nothing sensible that the president said yesterday relative to this drug issue. Because, I mean, up to now, you can't tell me nobody has been identified or nobody have been arrested, undergoing investigation in connection to this $19.2 million drug. So I'm not going to give, any credence to what the president said yesterday. The justice minister was at the Capitol yesterday, and he had some closed door meetings with the lawmakers, and some of them were not happy with the way our things were proceeding. So the
Walked out.
Bond County District 5 rep, Moima Briggs Mensa, had to walk out because the woman is saying that you can tell us, you know, $19 million drug you catch. Then nobody has been linked. Nothing. So what the essence? Other people who were caught with little something, they were placard all over the place. But so look, Esther, as we continue to tell the people, nobody, you don't need a rocket scientist to come and tell you that somebody close to the power that be is not connected to this drug thing. It's just a waste of time. Would you be talking, 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 talking? And for me, I don't see any good
And
thing.
Wendell, that's what they want. They want us to get to a point where we get tired of talking. That's why they will not respond to us. You already listened to what the justice
Hmm.
minister said.
Yeah,
And so we're not gonna get anything out of them until they feel it they want to talk to us. So if they
exactly.
don't want to talk to us, that means they're not gonna talk to
To
us.
us, and
And you know
Esther,
how this country is. It's gonna
mm,
take a couple of weeks or a couple of days, and the whole thing will be sleeping. Nobody will be thinking
look,
about it.
the people names that we heard that are connected
Mm.
to this thing, they are people who are part of the kitchen cabinet. I mean, people who are connected very close to the president, who sees the president almost every day,
Yeah.
shake hands with these. And Esther, another thing my attention is drawn to is this. I'm deeply worried about the xenophobic on African migrants in South Africa. We also have Liberians there, right?
Of course.
And I'm worried about our brothers and sisters that are in South Africa, what they are going through now.
Yeah, because since the whole thing started, I have not heard the foreign ministry stance on the citizens from here out there.
I think I've.
Ghana have gone there. They have
Hmm.
taken the citizens. I
Hmm.
think almost all of them. I don't know what Nigeria is doing, but I believe that a lot of them are leaving. I've witnessed a video
Hmm.
where they have them in South Africa.
Yeah.
They have been packed at certain
Yeah.
location. They're sleeping on the ground. There's no correct food to eat,
Hmm.
and they are awaiting help.
And I also saw a group of South African women who've gathered before, I think, the state house or somewhere, calling on the government to stop what they are doing because since they started, throwing out of their country, the uh, African migrants from other countries, their business are not going.
Where would business go?
Their business according to them.
Yeah.
So they want the foreigners back because they feel that the foreigners were making their business to grow. But taking the foreigners out of their country is crippling the economy and their
If
business.
if I
You
am
know,
every foreigner window, I would never go to South Africa.
you
If
know,
I am any foreigner, I would never
South
go to South
Africa is
Africa.
a beautiful place to be because look, if the South Africans today, most of the folks that are involved with what they are doing, if they were around during the days of the apartheid, they would not be touching their African brothers or treating them,
The
in that
people
form and
believe,
manner.
Wendell, that they are more white than
They
black.
are not.
That's what they're
They
saying.
are
I was
not.
looking at one Zulu
You know.
guy who posted, he
Mm,
was talking about, after the game between Mexico and South Africa, how the whole Africa united against them and supported, Mexico. And he was trying, like, I understand he was making fun,
mm.
but he said something that really caught my attention. He said, you take this black out right now, we are more white than we are even black. That's what he
Okay.
was saying.
We
So
don't
he
see.
said, in fact, Mexico, you are more our brothers, and you got to
Mm.
be very careful with those Africans that are supporting you.
You see, Liberia,
It's crazy.
Liberia.
I don't know what they
We
think about
hosted a lot of South
when they're doing these
Africans
nonsense. Yes, we
during
did.
the days of the apartheid.
We know the
We can
history.
call the names of some of the folks that came here.
Mhm.
As we speak, I know a South African guy that stay in this country. He's here. I see him almost every other time.
Mhm.
All right, he's enjoying life in Liberia. So why are they going after? I'm worried because our Liberian brothers and sisters are there. The last time we heard from the Liberia, the L Triple RC, I don't know what Kobangalu is doing together with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to see how best they can repatriate our, brothers and sisters back to the country. Because what they are going through is hurting. I mean, people who have lived all of their lives. You saw the video where this South African lady, every time she say her daughter goes out there, there's a guy who they're sharing the same next door neighbor. We call her 13-year-old daughter. Every time he will be calling the game. In fact, he went to the extent of putting the leg at hand, dragging her into his apartment.
Oh yeah, I watched
You
that
you saw
video.
that? It's so touching.
And the statements he
He's
made,
made.
I was like,
She's
really?
grown up. She can
If
talk for
half
herself.
of Africans
Can you
think,
imagine? I mean, I was just.
so you get to the extent now that you do not even respect human rights.
I mean, look.
Start abusing, or you don't even
I was
care about it.
just. I was
And they're
just.
saying we told them to leave our country. Like,
Yeah,
are you
yeah.
for
Are
real?
you for real? So the woman told him
Wow.
that this is a South African lady because this child is a South African child because she was born here.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's my concern this morning. I'm deeply worried about this xenophobic in South Africa, most especially with our Liberian brothers and sisters. What is the government stand since this thing started? What is the government doing about repatriating our brothers and sisters back home? So those are my concerns. Let's hear from you guys.
Tundes, you want to come in?
Anybody else here with me from my end?
It's just you.
Gus was here, but he left. He was not patient to stay. I think he left. So we can hear from you.
I'm just concerned about Omar Boakai statement he made yesterday concerning this $19 million worth of cocaine. He was so the statement was even delayed, and I see no merit in that statement concerning. I mean, compared to the fire incident at the Capitol building, the stand he took, immediate stand he took, and also accusing hoodlums that came and set up the fire over there, started accusing why he didn't even have no intelligence. He just concluded. But this one here, he was so calm and collected, and I see no merit in his speech yesterday. Because this had shook him to the point that he have to say something. He was forced to come out to say something. That's the kind of speech we listened to yesterday. But that speech means nothing. No strength behind it. You know, we Liberian people, this thing been happening even before this government came in. This cartel in Liberia is not just starting in this government. It started way even before George Weah government. This is the reason why they were so bitter with with the George Weah government, because they were not running the cartel as they wanted to. Believe me, this is the reason why the little chances they had to bring in drugs, they were pinning it on the previous government. See, the previous government was bringing it so that we can fall for it. And we did fall for it. Because the cartel, let me tell you, my brother, cartel, when they study about drugs cartel, they are not small people. They are not small potato in the world, the entire world. Can you imagine the cartel, the strongest cartel man from Mexico, when he was arrested, they put him in jail. In jail. And while he was in jail, he still had power. They dug tunnel from far distance to his cell, to his jail cell, and he escaped. Okay, these people, and it's not only drugs alone, the cartel running. They run weapon. They can kill you in an instant. And all their work they do, somebody else doing it for them. They sit in the back because they have already made their money. So this is the reason why people are taking so much, because the strength that behind the cartel is more than the government. Let me tell you that. It's more than that government you see over there. They probably the one that even running that government at this as we speak. This is why they cannot just come out and give us names. They scare their parent, their relative, and children all at stake. Their life at stake. It's not a small thing we look at.
That's why before you get involved, you already know what the people are involved with. They're involved with killing, they're involved with human trafficking, a lot of things they are involved with. It's not just one aspect of it.
Why do you see the previous government every now and then you see day by day, they bring day by day. Who brave enough to go take people day by day and bring it outside in the street just to prove a point? You think that common Liberian people would do that? We're only good at talking rubbish behind each other and witchcrafting each other. But go and take day by day and bring it in the street just to prove a point. Cartel will do anything to prove a point. That's what we've been experiencing. I just came out yesterday to talk. I think he talked nothing behind it. He was forced to come just to make it. Like one of you just said it. Most of these things we just looking at it. At the end of the day, they're going to sweep it under the rug, and we Liberian people forget about it. Time for voting, we'll say go and vote for the same people. That's my take.
Thank you there, Suleiman. And
we know what Uncle Tunes just said, made a whole lot of sense, because I'm a fan of the kind of movies. I like to watch crimes, and stuff like that. And these are things that we see happen in movies.
Yeah.
And so if you are involved with drug, Wendell, is a serious thing.
Yeah.
It's a serious
thing. People who
I don't know how they've been doing it, the whole drug thing, how they even allow it to get in the public and stuff like that. But it is sad.
The people call their thing
your country is suffering already. What the country get, Wendell? Like, even the citizens, you cannot even run a business, and benefit anything much from it, because if you are into importation, you bring your goods, go to APN terminal. When you finish paying money to free your goods, the money even more than the goods you brought.
Esther.
At the end of the day, what do you get out of it?
Esther.
Then until Liberians lazy.
No need.
Wow.
Look, Esther, let me tell you something. I'm telling you, the folks that got there at the airport, those people that are assigned to the airport, as we speak now, none of them are supposed to be over there.
Why?
Because they all know. Look, Esther, you listen. This not the first time. They call the thing they cargo then when they carry their thing, they call it diplomatic cargo. Nobody can touch it. The customs are aware, the immigration officers there are aware, the national security folks there are aware, the airport security themselves they are aware. These people know that's a cartel. The cartel is not only the people that were bringing the drugs, so the cartel that people then who are in major areas that's supposed to who got a part of role to play. That's how to do it. All right, that's how to do it. So all of them are involved.
Everybody cannot be removed from their job
I
because
mean, all of
there's a
the
possibility that I work here, my bosses did the thing. I don't know what they did.
yeah,
How
I
do I be
agreed.
affected?
I do agree, but all of the heads at the airport,
Okay,
all of the sectional heads at the airport, they need to be recorded
of course.
because look, let me tell
Nothing's
you something.
supposed to
The people,
happen
the
on
people
your
that
watch
know,
that you don't know
the
about.
people that know, all of them that know, they are aware. They are aware. From 2024, the thing been happening. Just May 22, they did some shipment. In the month of May, I think they did two major shipments,
Of course.
and that another one was
Diplomatic
leaving now.
cargo.
So are they manufacturing cocaine in Liberia?
And now the paper is also telling us that Sierra Leone is also part of this thing.
Because the guy who I'm
is
told,
shading.
the guy who I'm told is the boom behind everything, who has been he's a fugitive as we speak because he's fled from his country. He was sentenced. I don't know how he escaped, but he's currently residing in Sierra Leone.
Okay.
Yeah. And folks have been seeing him in Liberia, with some of the big hands. So that's the
Wow.
Liberia. They did 90 million.
So the
Look,
big hands they've been saying, who are the big hands? The big
we
hands they can
we the
come
one
out.
will not call their name.
Oh,
They know
no.
their people. We know them. We already got up out of info that these are the people
Okay.
that are connected. So we're not going to come call names here for you to kind of all and say we don't want to call name or go answer. We're not do it.
We'll take your picture and next time
Yeah,
we'll see you.
we're not do it. So the representative walked. They threw her out of session yesterday because he said you cannot tell us about the case, $90 million case, and up to now we ain't heard nothing about it. But Esther, let's take few call. Let's take the comments. We'll come and take few calls, and then we go home.
Of course.
They will not
So
allow you to. They're scared to call the name because the
Mm-hmm.
name that behind those things then is not small potato name you see there. So
Big hands,
this is
man.
why
Big hands.
this is strength of the
and you can
cartel.
call the common ones and lead the P ones, they will
Oh
get
yeah.
angry too. So you check out
They
the shit
they're
everybody.
looking for
Wow.
they're looking for the weak people to pin this thing on just to prove a point. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for people to pin it on, so we'll say, "Oh yeah, they're doing their work," but we already know what is happening. Okay, they can't hide
Good.
it. Because as they hide it, as they're doing it, people are leaking the story to us.
Mm.
That's what happening right now. The story is already leaked.
All
You
right.
know,
So the comment section we have Charles Weir. He says, "Good morning, Freedom FF family. My name is Charles Weir, following from Jacobtown. We have William Samuga. He says he's following from Disco Hill around RIA. We have Bernard Jr. He says, "Good morning, Freedom family." We have Shamfu Shamfu King says, "Happy birthday, sir." Bernard Jr. says, following from Raw Island this morning. Jay Harris Pasawa says he's following from Burrville. We have Apin Paul Lee says, "Good morning, Freedom FM. I'm watching from Johnsonville." We have Henry Na says, "I'm following from Fennell Community." Carl Few. We have Mohammed Robertson. He says, "Dear Dr. Josiah F. Joker Jr., Director General, Councilor Cooper W. Carr Senior, Minister of Labor, the National Elections Commission, new appointee boss have started witch hunting civil servant agency employees just to bring in his family members and friends, removing people from their position with the reduction of their salaries just to fill in because the budgets have already been passed, violating the labor laws of Liberia for his selfish interest, telling employees to leave the office at 5. Well, the completion is not here, Mohammed represent, so you can provide more information on our WhatsApp number. We have Felicia D. Barclay. Felicia rather says, good morning, my Freedom FM family. If the government change, I think the person wants to say everyone on the airport, they will be the same people to control the new ones. So no need.
I know, right?
We will just wait for 2029 to change this UP government, man. And we have Clarence Dwyer.
You read about that.
Mm-hmm. Clarence says, happy fruitful birthday to one of the Republic of Liberia finest radio personality in person of Mr. Anthony Stevens, the matchless magical man who celebrates his birthday today. Happy birthday, Babi. Mohammed Mariman Sheri says, good morning, Wenzel and Esther, in the peace-loving people of Lover County. I'm watching from Amadi Diakite Intellectual Forum in Jacob Town, St. Francis community. My first point of contention on the drugs crisis is that why I welcome the president's decision to address the nation. The speech failed to answer the questions that ordinary Liberians are asking. Who owns this shipment? Who financed it? How did approximately 237.6 kilograms of cocaine worth US 19.2 million enter our airport? Pico says, hello, Freedom FM. I'm watching from Newtown. We have Estelle M. Gible. She says, good morning. I'm watching from Burrowville Junction. Barnesville Junction. We have Samuel Sompon Sayon says, Wendell and Darling, your dress today very elegant. elegant. I know, right? Keep up the good job. Nothing will come out of that drug issue. Liberia is a narco state more than Venezuela and Mexico. We are in a very big, we are in a very serious big mess. Very sudden, man. And then we have Abenigo Bala Newton says he is watching from Soviet Community, Congo Town, River, Liberia. We have Prince Shafar says good morning from my aunt Henry Tito Jr. says good morning to the print news crew of both Freedom FM and the Radio LIB crew of the USA. Not forgetting our weather report man, Uncle Tunis from Staten Island, New York City, the Big Apple. I'm following you from a residence in Upper Cardwell. Thanks for the update. We have Mark Kuman. He says, good morning, Uncle Wendell, Esther, Uncle Tunis, and the rest of the panelists. And good morning to the peace-loving people of Funde community in the borough of Nuclear Town. And he again says he's watching from Woodbridge, Virginia, USA. I'm totally disappointed in the government over the approach that's relative to the ongoing 19 million drug burst. Phoenicia Junior Bar says he's watching. We are is coming back 2029. Josephine Sate Amora Mensa says, good morning, my freedom family. We have Wisa Colley. He says he's watching live from Monrovia, Liberia. We have Wisa Colley again says we are is great. Clarence Dwyer says if President Bouaka turned over all those that are involved in the $19.2 million cocaine saga for credible and transparent investigation, including his son, the ladies' man, I will vote for him in 2029. Ambassador Harris Wole Pali says he's watching from Nuku Town. We have Joseph Weir. He says, where you think Bouaka's son getting all this money from? It's from the drugs business. Since this Bouaka government came to power, they have been shipping drugs out of Liberia. Key government officials in Bouaka's son knows about the drug issue. Those guys who take the drugs at the airport are all EPS. Even some of those airport workers knows these guys, EPS. And then we have Diane P. Marcus says, following from Ganta, Nima County. We have Rose Nimlen Bella says, good afternoon. I'm watching from Dixville. We have Rosetta Sonkale. She says, happy blessed birthday, sir. We have Samuel Light Cooper. Good afternoon, Wendell and Esther. I'm following from Cardwell. Thumbs up for the fact that our airport is even being used means not just ordinary person will be brave. And Rosetta Sonkale again says, good morning from my end. Any hope you guys are doing great this morning. I think okay. That's it. Well, so far, these are other comments.
Okay, so it's time to hear from you listeners, those of you who are buyer receivers, it's time to place your calls on 0776 104 104 086 500 104 077 too many things to talk about. We spoke about the cocaine issue, the drug bust at the airport. We also spoke about the xenophobic in South Africa, where our Liberian brothers and sisters are. So we are also concerned about their whereabouts or their safety. So let's hear from you. Let's begin to take calls. Let's take you as our first caller. All right, let's see. Okay, our numbers are active now. The WhatsApp line is +231 86 500 104. Let's take you. Hello?
Good morning, Mr. Nime. Mr.
Mo-
Moindo. Good afternoon. Mr. Moindo, Esther. Mr. Nime, the last time I asked you on the platform, so you will get something for the baby.
I know.
So tell me the truth about
No, I ain't want to answer that question. Oh. It's too hard for me, man.
Hey, hard work, generally, I know. What I can for the mail, Mr. Nime. They may start shooting you. You know, about the people when you are in opposition, you know that. When you get called to be insulting, every year, Baka was still don't insult them. I tell you, you're for him. And Mr. Nime, every year, Baka couldn't start in your get. But you are here. When if people working through everyone, ABC, the major will compromise. But I similar Eddie made it. Then the greatest woman center here, you are. Yeah. So we are talking before on the radio apologize. Why ABC he apologize? When the campaign was photo capture, why do we have to the you be go follow me? For passport, you are the yellow young credit in the report by here. So take that in mentality longer. That's the for Baka. Let me tell you, Mr. Nina, in my past, don't tell him, you are what they make him is 10 minutes, is speed, a confused speed, don't let it go in. Don't let it go get for that. You are here, the mental, and you see people mad at me to take you for over the day, the poor paying, property over there. So if you what you will get for them, Mr. Nina, tell me that. If you what you will get for them, tell me wait for time to say, I listen to Panasio. Because that is they come on the speech. That's no story. It didn't know what they are doing. What they meant for you. Something they get there. You must say, what I in a for LS. You can see the happening when you LS. LS is inside you. You can see something happening, but they must say LS. So you see, they may be both of them. Richard Cook beginning. They may want to pray. It's so us. It always tell you what I know with Richard Cook. But today, they will get time. Get the time to call who be the job. So what happened? Baka say debate just the measure say debate. They show him put picture. You go ask him. You know why the man living or the man there. So he see the kind of party work for him power. That people look for him, Mr. Nime. That people look for the kind of power here. But so my attention is living on loose. Don't never trust that person with your money. Say who for me. But no good result you get it. If you don't come on, who look for the man and say I real say papi can be president. Yeah, we don't get it.
Okay.
But I think who will get for the man, Mr. Nime. Thank you for your opportunity.
Thank you, Patience. Thank you. Let's talk to you. Let's talk to you. Hello. Yeah, welcome to the show. Yeah, welcome. Let's hear you.
Thank you very much. I'm Spencer Mohammed, and I come from Down Coast Hill community, and a member of Concern Liberia for Justice. And Esther and Tunis. This is another empty statement for this president. President says he ascended to power. He has just been making statements that he has not been able to live up to. Let us take, for example, the Solomon Polar issues. He told us they were using supremacy. They're going to 6 months. We yet to find anything logical on the Solomon issue. Today, the president is coming out to tell us, hey, we are doing investigation. This is another statement. This president is on tape You keep the power to create jobs. Yet, instead of doing these things, today you are drugging us, President Bakai. Bring your drugs, but we start you 2029. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dad. Let's talk to Masisi. Masisi, welcome to the show.
How you doing?
I'm fine, Masisi. Welcome.
Let me say hi to my brother Tony and Bastale and the We Nation man. Look, I'm number one. The Papa says the person is confused, right? The Papa says the person is confused. The person, the pastor, all over the place. When they, what happened to the Calamity number one? He said the brother is confused. What happened to the brother? He didn't want to let it be house there. And that's what they loud and again, boss. Number two, he talked about what guy wants to the nation. How will you see the nation in your face? Come on, we'll get to your face. What happened, you devil or you, Gina? When the nation talk to us, tell the people that we need answer. Look, see the guy, put the enough pressure with them. But we see the president talking about the nation. We can't see his face, they have it for us. Then you see that Syria government here. They're not serious. They put lying to us and they continue to lie. But the next thing, oh man, you go say that you go free, they put party, they pass all the place. Oh, what the next say that got to pass with them? No, I find my question. He got to power. Fucking say, yeah, my girl, they'll be encouraged to some more. I mean, encouraged to some more. When I say, yeah, when I lie, when I say, what the best say, it's not get to pass, it's get to pass. The first thing they mentor is say the Papa is confused. Yesterday, what I say, the bullet is accused. Can you imagine? Go to the lane and go to the bullet. Go see our bullet. They play confused, they play this and that. So they try to one portion. So what they put up protected. With the what they put up protected, you say the bullet is protected with armed men, armed women. I want to say secure. What happened that they just entered? They not open their job. So they put that there over there, so they told me, they get them 80 enter. So you get lying to us. So the Papa is to be serious with them. They want to be serious for one. They said I will tell my time, I will let them down. They want to do what they do. Then my little boy was up with them. I leave my radio, I said, no, I got to go. And then the Papa, what are you going to say? You're going to get all over the drug issue. But over here, man, I can't understand nothing. The great thing I do for them, I want to thank you. Thank you, what now?
Okay. Thank you, Masisi. Let's give. Thank you, Masisi. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's take Ma Helena on the show. Let's take Ma Helena, then we'll go to Joseph Colley. Ma Helena, let's hear you quickly. No time. Okay, let's take Joe Colley, then we'll come back and talk to Ma Helena. Joe Colley, welcome to the show. Let's hear you. Welcome, my brother.
Yeah, good evening, so, Brother Tony, how you all doing? And to Mama Nigeria, Mama people, let's be real. Since the occurrence of this thing, and besides that, when last have we seen what kind of phrase then that you talk about that were negotiating regarding the how to call it, the yellow machine? We do not know those people. Those three rich men that they men talk about in Ghana, we do not know those people. Where those people come from, who are they? We don't know them. So we don't know these people because Walker is ashamed of bringing a lot of these guys because they are drugs dealers. He knows. That man know everything that he's doing. And he and his children are involved in. So they are hiding behind the curtain. They don't want to bring up. You shouldn't be surprised when they start bringing their people name or ghost name that don't exist. Or our poor people then go there and grab someone there, unfortunately kill them and say they were the one that were involved. You shouldn't be surprised. These guys are capable of doing anything. We know how cartels operate in this place. We see them, we know them. So you got to be very, very careful. Our Liberian brothers and sisters, get out of their way. Don't mingle around these people. These people are deadly people. They are very criminal-minded. So it's very unfortunate that it has to happen over there, but they are the leaders. They were behind the scene, throwing blows at other people when they were not involved. You are there now. Please bring these people to the book. Your people arrested them. Why are you hesitant for the Liberian people to understand who did this thing or these things or who are doing it? Who are the people that are involved? Why are you afraid? You're afraid because they are your colleagues. You're afraid because they give you money to pay your house. You're afraid because they are funding you with every financial aspect. So you need to come clean, man. You and your government need to come on clean and tell the Liberian people what is unfolding. God bless you all. You take good care, man.
Thank you, Joseph Colley. Let's talk to Ma Helena. Welcome to the show. Yeah, welcome to the show, Ma
Good
Helena.
morning, my son.
Yeah,
Good
Mama,
morning,
welcome.
Esther. Good morning, Tunis. How you doing?
We are great. Let's hear you.
When there, Burkina Bees in time all over Liberia. What we're doing, we're not hearing anything. The people waiting in our country, border was secure, all kinds of things. When they come, when we talk about it, just died down. It just died down. When we heading to, and my sister said everything. Now what the pastor was saying. Look at the kind of trouble we in. Look at the drugs issue. When that place got bring the same day, the next day that man was calling people hooligans. Yeah? When the capital building, that place. So the drugs issue again can also for us to know who do it. Then after so long, after it's taking long, can yesterday you say this and that, or we're fighting. Why are you fighting? Where are you fighting it? You're fooling also. But let me tell you, for nothing, people say Liberia may get sense. Liberia may get sense. The drugs business where you campaign about to win this election. That the same drug business you think Liberia may okay you, it will not make it. Papa, when you get on the keke, you hear United Parties in a sensible one day talking about it. You say, what happened? You say, we regret the day and the hour we were getting it. So that's in there, that for nothing. You're not fooling us.
Okay.
You coming for us, you coming for our mind behind. They'll say, I will do the one, so they will say this and that. Or, you know what he's talking? You know what he's saying? You know it? When let me hear ya, my child. I tell you, thank you.
Thank you, Ma Helena. Thank you. Yo, man. Let me hear my child. Oh, the old man in the full Master Helena, thank you so much. Let's take one more call, then we go home. Hello? Hello? Yeah, I'm fine. Go ahead, Johnny. Let's hear you. Thank you.
For public, this is Johnny Hackman. I quit from my comfort in Brazil. When there, I think the stage member Waka yesterday is more like he was saying a campaign move. Tell the library people we will see how we investigate and we will not be used as a safe haven. Like that's a campaign speech that we listen to a long time, Mr. Waka. Even if we're expecting we're expecting you to come up with some proof. All the people that have been investigated, we expected some explanation from you as to how the investigation how it's going. We need an answer from you. So what is unfolding? So for you to come up with a regular we are still investigating. We can't hear the government. Not in this country. When people are investigating, you already arrested other people. Then you can come up with a name. We expected the president yesterday to be giving your information as regards to the arrest of these people there. Yeah, you said just we have the one that bringing drugs into the country. How come 19 million drugs are being arrested in the country? You need not to be a rocket scientist or someone to tell you that government officials help the government.
Oh my God, I didn't cut you off. I think you went off the line, but we gotta go. Let's go to Tunis. Tunis, let's hear from you. We gotta go. Tunis, you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, nothing else to say. We already said it all. We're happy you guys join us. We'll be here this evening at 11 p.m. with a nighttime spin. It's a sisters program from the Brain News. So join us so we can continue this discussion from there. Thank you again. being here today, and see you tonight. Have a
Thank
nice
you,
day.
thank you, thank you, there, Suleiman. Thanks so much, and wish you a wonderful day from your end too, folks. We gotta go. Take care. We'll be here tomorrow.
I can't stand no more, cause I'm a fool. I can't